You've probably been told that if you want to build muscle, you just need to get into the gym and work hard. But here's the problem, not all exercises will build muscle effectively. In fact, most people, like me many years ago, waste months, sometimes years, working on the wrong lifts and wondering why they're not seeing the progress they want. In this video, I'm going to show you how to break down and choose the best exercises to maximize muscle growth so you can stop spinning your wheels and take the most from every workout you do. The first thing we want to consider is what actually makes an exercise good versus bad when our goal is muscle growth. There are 3 boxes you need to tick, and if you can hit all 3 of these at once, you'll have yourself a good movement for hypertrophy. Number 1 is stability. When our goal is to work a muscle to failure, which will lead to the adaptations we want to see, the more stable a movement is, in a lot of cases, the easier this will be. Let's take the example of a barbell squat versus a hack squat. You might be currently using a barbell squat as a way of taking your quads to failure. The issue with a movement like this is whilst a squat does work your quads very effectively, you are also relying on a large number of other muscle groups to keep you stable and complete the reps. In this instance, you're working your core, your erectors, and your upper back, and if you have a weak point in any of these areas, this could end your set early even if you had more in the tank in your quads. In comparison to the hack squat, where we have the support and stability of the back pad and the weight following the fixed path of the machine, this movement will be significantly easier to take to failure without worrying about another muscle group that could give out first. Another example could be a bent over row versus a chest supported cable lat pull down. Both of these exercises will be working your lats, however in the bent over row, you're relying heavily on your spinal erectors and your core and your hamstrings to hold that position. In the chest supported cable pull down, however, I've got the weight of the bench, I'm bracing against it with my opposite hand to hold myself in place, and I can take this set to failure very easily without any other muscles beginning to fatigue and cause distraction from the muscle I'm actually trying to work. To be clear, exercises like squats and deadlifts can still be great movements for when it comes to building muscle, but being aware of the impact that a lack of stability has, both on the ability to take a specific muscle to failure, but also the safety of an exercise when working at a high intensity, is really important and will only help you with your exercise selection to maximize your gains in the gym. The second checkbox is ensuring you're working the muscle in both its lengthened and shortened position and taking the exercise through its full range of motion. In simple terms, the shortened position of a rep is when the muscle is fully contracted, for example the top of a leg extension with your legs fully extended, or the bottom of a lat pull down with the bar at your chest, and the lengthened position is the stretch at the bottom of a leg press, for example, or the bottom of a dumbbell chest press. Some movements will be more dominant in the lengthened position, some in the shortened position, but what's important is that for any exercise you pick, you take the movement through the complete range of motion and don't cut the reps short. This pillar may be a little bit more technique focused, but if you're picking exercises and cutting movements short, you won't be working that muscle to its full potential and you will lose out on a lot of muscle growth. Box number 3 to check off, and one of the most important, is your ability to continue to progress and load an exercise. We know that progressive overload, where we challenge the muscle by adding more reps and weight over time, is key for hypertrophy. Whilst this may sound simple, there are absolutely some movements where this is significantly more challenging than others. Consider an example of a press-up. It's quite plausible that to take your set of press-ups to failure, you may end up having to do in excess of 20 reps. Whilst it is the fact that you're training to failure that's important, in theory that's fine, but in reality, taking sets of over 20 reps to true failure is really hard for a couple of reasons. Once you go this high on reps, you'll typically notice the lactic acid buildup is quite high, and that burning sensation can lead to you calling quits before you actually hit true failure. On top of this, very high rep exercises are really demanding and require a high amount of glucose, which comes from carbs, to sustain. If therefore your nutrition wasn't on point, it could easily become quite difficult to continue to progress exercises in these rep ranges. This will be the reality of any movement where you're typically using your body weight as the main form of resistance. Quite quickly, you will have the ability to do in excess of 15 to 20 reps, and finding creative ways to add load to these movements can at times be tricky, to say the least. Instead, you should look to focus on using barbells, dumbbells, or machines where continuing to add more load over time is relatively easy to do. That said, there are even some exercises with cable machines where making progressions can be difficult. Take a cable lateral raise as an example, where you might see the stack jump from 2.5 kilograms to 5 kilograms, which doesn't sound like much, but it is actually a 100% increase. In these situations, you might benefit from having something like a gym pin that will allow you to micro load with smaller 0.25, 0.5 or 0.75 kg plates, so you can keep increasing the weight and not be limited by bigger jumps in the stacks. Similarly, you can also buy attachments that you can add to dumbbells where the increase of 2 kg can feel like a big jump, especially maybe for female lifters where the percentage increase from going from an 8 kg dumbbell to a 10 kg dumbbell on a shoulder press, for example, is 25%, and that's considerably more than going from 26 kg to 28 kg, which is only 8%. Something I wanted to make clear again is that a lot of the times exercises won't check off all three of these pillars, and that is okay. Whilst a big part of your exercise selection should be based on what's optimal for your goal, training should also be about enjoyment. With that, I'd encourage you to find a balance between movements that you know will progress you to your goal more quickly, and also exercises that you just know that you like doing, and make your workout something that you're more likely to stick with long term. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you want my help with creating a program to get you from where you are now to your dream physique as quickly as possible, head to the link in the description, fill out the application form for one-to-one coaching, and I'll look forward to speaking with you. See you in the next video.